Hey YouTubers, he's back, and it is a collection video, which you can obviously tell from the title because it's a Gamecube collection title. Uh, yeah, I thought I'd do a Gamecube because I finished collecting for it. I picked up the last few games, last pickup, and I thought I can do that. There's with the other, for some of the other systems, I'm still waiting to get a few more games to complete, so I'll leave those for another day, but I thought I can at least do a Gamecube for now, before I do a room tour as well, because there are a couple of little things I need to do before we do a room tour video. But that will be coming soon. I know I keep promising, but it will come one day. It's been a tough month really at home. My father-in-law's in hospital. He has dementia and urinary tract infections and skin cancer and all sorts of things he's got, so he's not doing very well, my father-in-law. And this week, unfortunately, my wife's been diagnosed with breast cancer as well, which is not good, but it's early stages, and so we're getting treatment and things, and so touch wood, that'd be okay in the long run, but we're just taking 1 week at a time really. And compared to those sort of things, video game collecting becomes a kind of irrelevant, but for me it's a nice helpful distraction. So that's why that's what we all do. We need to have distractions in life, otherwise you'll go crazy, I think. So anyway, back to what we're here for, which is for the Gamecube. Now, I don't have a huge amount of games for a Gamecube. It's a good solid collection though, and I've mainly gone for exclusive titles that interest me, because my preference is for PS2, and over that probably Xbox, so Gamecube is probably a third in the line really. But so any interesting exclusives, some proper. Not every single Mario game. I didn't get the Mario Party games because I don't really collect Mario Party, so there's none of those. But I've got a few good Nintendo games. A few imports as well to show you. One game which I haven't got here to show you, but I do own, is the Mario, is it called Dance Party game or whatever it is, that comes with a dance mat. That's all put together with a mat, and it's round the back. As well as my two, I've got two Donkey Kong games. It comes with a bongos, or bongos, what they call bongos. Yeah, it is bongos, isn't it? All boxed. So I've got those, and I've got two additional copies loose as well, which I do own, which I will show you. Not that you need to see those. I've got an additional loose bongos up there as well, so you can never have too many bongos, I suppose. So those things aren't actually here, but I do own them, but they are part of a collection, but it'll just take hours to try to find them, and then I'm not going to waste that amount of time just to, when I could just, include them verbally. You know me, I don't lie about these things. Anyway, let's turn to the imports. I'll keep the American games mixed with the UK ones. So I've got a few Americans, but got a few interesting Japanese games, and I got one, the first Biohazard game, the first Resident Evil game. Obviously this is the modern remake of not remake version 2, I suppose, because obviously with the PS4 there's remake version 3 is free as well, isn't there? Yeah, so these come in these nice little boxes. So being a Resident Evil fan, I just had to get the first game from Japan. Also have here Chibi Robo. This is obviously a Japanese copy. It's so much cheaper than the PAL copy. I'm not paying the going rate for a PAL copy. Also have that game on the 3DS, so it's probably a better way of playing it. I've got a couple of exclusive Donkey Kong Bongo games. So we've got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and Donkey Kong Konga 3. So they're a couple of exclusives from Japan. Okay. Right. PAL copies. If there is an American copy, I will tell you, but 98% of these are PAL English, but there's a couple of Americans because they're exclusives almost, or quite interesting variants. So anyway, a snowboarding game exclusive to a system, 1080 Avalanche. I gotta love the snowboarding games for this generation. They're really, really good for the most part. An interesting exclusive, Ace Golf by Eidos, who brought us Tomb Raider. Battalion Wars. I've got to hold my hand up. I've not played this game. I have to. As a bit of a guilty admission there. Beach Spikers. I got this game because it's like a sexy beach game, but it's Sega. Is it as good as for Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball? No, I wouldn't say it's not as good, but it's still good all the same. And it's, you know, it's exclusive to a system. Beyblade V-Force. It was cheap, and again, it's exclusive to a system. I probably won't bother playing that one. I got this game because it comes with an exclusive demo of Godzilla. So it's Big Air Freestyle, but as you can see, it's got an exclusive Godzilla demo included. And being a Godzilla fan, that's the reason why I got it. Another Sega game, Billy Hatcher and a Giant Egg. Okay, it's got a few Bloody War games on the PS2, but here's one for PS4 exclusive, Bloody War Primal Fury. Interesting fighting game. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I had to get I've got this on every system, this game. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds. A really good, underrated game. I really do recommend that. Actually, both of those get this generation games because there's two on the Xbox, isn't there? So I definitely recommend those. Burnout. I had to get the Burnout games because they're such the best racing games, aren't they? Burnout 2 as well. So even though they're not exclusive to a system, I had to get them. These two aren't exclusive either, but I love the IP, so I got it on all the systems of this generation. So I got Call of Duty Finest Hour and Call of Duty Big Red One. So these are probably two of the better shooting type, you know, that kind of war genre. You had to have these. They were on a Dreamcast from the arcade, but now Gamecube, Crazy Taxi. That's a must own. Another game which is not exclusive on the system, you can also get this on the PS2, which I do own, and Xbox, I believe. But this is one of quite a really good game. Def Jam Fight for New York. Remember, they're getting that really cheap. Die Hard Vendetta. Again, I think you get that on the PS2, but it's, you know, it's a cool genre. And also I've gone picked up all the Disney games for the system. So I've got Disney Hide and Sneak. It's actually quite surprising how many Disney games there are on it. Disney Party. Disney's Magical Mirror and starring Mickey Mouse. And some of the sports titles. Now, there are two exclusive ones in America, I believe. American football and baseball. I don't own those. They're loads of money, actually, so I'm not paying silly money for two sports games that I'm unlikely to play, to be perfectly honest. But I've got the power ones, so it's Disney Sports Basketball, football or soccer. Obviously, the American football one is still called football in the States, so they must have a American version of that. Must be called soccer, I suppose. And then we've got Disney Sports Skateboarding. Okay. Some additional loose copies. So I've got the first Donkey Konga. I thought it was exclusive for Japan, but no, it's a PAL copy as well. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. So obviously got a Japanese copy there. I must have got. It must have came with my. That's what happened when I ordered Donkey Konga free from Japan. It was bundled with that Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, so it's not exclusive. I'll take that back. But yeah, that's for 2 PAL copies of the games. Then we've got Eternal Darkness. Geist or Geist. This is like a shooting stroke paranormal type game. Quite an interesting IP actually. Not played it yet, but I think I would look forward to it. This I have played on the PS2, and that is Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. One Final Fantasy game that came out on the system, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. And a biggie, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. The classic F-Zero GX, which I think it's the last game we got on for F-Zero, isn't it? I know it was a Game Boy Advance game, but I'm not sure if that was before or after this. Okay, I know you can get this on the Dreamcast, and it's been ported onto modern systems, PS4 I believe, and Switch I think. Ikaruga, classic shooter. I do have this on PS2, but I think the Gamecube one goes for more money. Killer 7. This is by I mean it's published by Capcom, but it's by the guy who did was it Daisy Chainsaw? Is it Daisy Chainsaw? Is it Suda57? I don't remember his name. Is Suda57 or Suda47 or whatever his name is. It's a quirky Japanese type game anyway. Sorry, that was just some headphones falling down. Another big hitter. PAL copy of Kirby Air Ride, or English. These are supposed to be quite good games actually. Lost Kingdoms and Lost Kingdoms 2. I've not played those yet. Okay, had to have this. Luigi's Mansion. Some Mario sports games. Mario Power Tennis. Mario Golf, Toadstool Golf, or Toadstool Tour rather. The Mario Golf games are, you know, superb. Alright, this has been re-released on Switch, which I do own. Mario Smash Football. Okay, this comes with a limited edition sleeve. Mario Kart Double Dash. It's just the same standard Mario Kart game, but with a gatefold sleeve on top. It's an Asumi game, Medabots Infinity. Not actually played that yet, but I think you play a kid who's who has some support or something from a Meg. It's based on an anime series or TV series. I don't know if I ever watched it. Okay, another big hitter. Metal Gear Solid with Twin Snakes. I think that's a remake of the first game. And then you have to have these. I know we recently got a new port of this on the Switch. Metroid Prime. And then the sequel, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. And this is a special limited edition version of Metroid Prime that has Metro Prime Echoes combined as a bonus disc. So it's a 2-in-1. So it's an American. This is it's American exclusive. Also links to Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. So quite an interesting oddity, that one. And then a Mega Man game exclusive for Switch, Gamecube, sorry, is Mega Man Network Transmission. I've got all the Mega Man games that are on the PS2, but this is exclusive to Gamecube. Turning to P, another big hitter, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. That's another one which I haven't played. I must. One day. Okay, Fantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. I think there's like an exclusive version of this which has got a slightly additional features, more a re-release that came out towards the end of the GameCube system. That version is a lot more expensive than this one, but both of them I don't think you can play anymore. So I wasn't going to pay silly money for that, just for a variant. Then we've got Fantasy Star Online 3. This is like a card-based game. I assume you can play that offline or online, so that one is still playable. Then we've got Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. And we've got this Capcom game, product number PN03. Interesting sci-fi game. Okay, now turning to Pokemon. We've got Pokemon Colosseum, and I do believe this comes with the special GameCube memory card. And then we've got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And also we got Pokemon Channel, the game, which is more of a non-RPG version of the game. Okay, we've got some Resident Evil games to show you. So Code Veronica X, Resident Evil 0. And we got Resident Evil. This game's not been opened, this is still sealed. Resident Evil 2. I remember back in the probably when was it, about 15 years ago, towards the end of the GameCube, a lot of shops like oh god, what was that big, obviously there was Game, what was that other big game shop that used to be open that's closed down in the UK? What's it called? Oh, it's escaped me. I can't remember. It's a big UK chain. Anyway, cut a long story short, they had so many of the Resident Evil remakes, and they, you know, a lot of the games were massively reduced, weren't they? And new copies of these were all reduced to about £10 or less. So you know, you could have got a lot of these games all sealed in the day. Like this one's sealed as well. Resident Evil Nemesis 3. Then we've got Resident Evil 4. But also I have a special limited edition version that comes with a gatefold sleeve, Resident Evil 4. Then I have an exclusive American copy of Resident Evil 4. Comes in a steelbook edition with the ventricular cards and all sorts. A nice little specialty. And we even got a Resident Evil 4 demo review disc. Not for resale, that's like an American exclusive too. Okay, that's P. I just realised I missed a game out from O. And what is that, you may ask? It is this weird pinball type game called Odama. It comes with a special attachment to a GameCube controller, which is basically a mic. and somehow you can verbally interact with the game to um, give commands or orders. I think really, it's a really interesting game. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a tear on the front there, but aside from that, it's all complete and everything, so it's not bad considering. I don't know what this game goes for nowadays. It wasn't that expensive when I got this all complete in the box, so it's probably not massive money, but still, it's a nice little set. Okay. S. We have Skies of Arcadia Legends. Obviously, this is a remake of the Dreamcast game. Both that and the Dreamcast versions, both really expensive. And then we got the Sonic Mega Collection, which has got all the classic Sonic Mega Drive games on it. I believe this is also on the PS2. Then we got, I think this is not on PS2, this is exclusive to Gamecube. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. The first Sonic Adventure was on the Dreamcast, I believe. And then we got Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. So I think this must be a remake of the first Sonic Adventure game. Okay, Soul Calibur 2. This is came out on all the systems, Xbox and PS2, and they each have a bonus character. This one's got Link. PS2 have got the Tekken guy, and I think the Xbox has got Spawn. So all three copies are worth owning if you like Soul Calibur. Okay. SSX games. These are probably some of the best snowboarding games. And even though I have these on the PS2, I went for them also on the Gamecube because they're good. But also, this one in particular, SSX on Tour, comes with some exclusive skins where you can play Mario and Luigi and Princess Peach. So that's different, isn't it? It's actually on the front as well. So if you collect for a game, well, do look out for this game. I don't know if this is going up in price or not. It should do because of that special unique feature. And also, if you've got that, you have to have SSX Tricky, which is probably the best game of that genre in that, you know, in that period of time, I would say. And then we got Star Fox Adventures and Star Fox Assault. Which one of these is more expensive? I always forget. I think it's Assault is the one that's more expensive than the other. Not sure why. I think it wasn't released in huge numbers, or didn't sell in the huge numbers. I don't know. Then with some of the Star Wars games, so we got Bounty Hunter, which I do believe also came out on PS2, but I think I got them for all the GameCube as well, because we had some exclusive Star Wars games which are superb, such as Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. Superb graphics. It's just so beautiful. I would argue that this is still one of the best ever Star Wars games. Then we've got Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. And also we've got a special demo disc for that came out in game in the UK. There is also an American copy of this as well, which I do own, but I'll probably going to get rid of because I've got space on my GameCube shelf. And this is Star Wars Rebel Strike 3 with a limited edition playable version of Star Wars, the Atari arcade game. So it's not super expensive. I think it's about £20 to £30 mark this would be to get now. So it's not super expensive, it's all super rare, but it's definitely uncommon. Also I have Super Mario Sunshine. And then we have Super Smash Bros. Melee. An RPG, Tales of Symphonia. And we've got some of the Legend of Zelda games. So we've got here a collector's edition, all sealed still. Promotional disc includes 4 classic games. So we've got here original Legend of Zelda 2, Adventure Link, then an Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, all on this, and a playable demo version of the Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. So that's neat. In addition to that, we have Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. This is a standalone copy. I think there's another copy you can get with a box and link cables, I think. That's just a game on its own. And there's Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And we've got The Wind Waker, which is a limited edition 2-disc copy that includes a 2-game bonus. So that's cool. But they also did a standard version, but that's only on Player's Choice packaging. Again, I got this from a charity shop, this actual game, and I do believe it's sealed. I think. No, it's not sealed actually, I must have opened it up. I've got a feeling they probably opened it up in a charity shop. Okay. The Lord of the Rings movie games. I love these. I've got them on all the systems, so they're not exclusive to Gamecube, but they are pretty good games. Lord of the Rings for 2 Towers, and then Return of the King, and the Third Age. They're all good games. The Third Age is more of like a sort of tactical. Not quite RPG, but it's got like tactical RPG fighting elements, whereas the other two are more platform adventure fighting type games. Anyway, Enter a Matrix. I've got it under T for the Matrix, that's why it's here and not earlier. I love the Matrix games and movies. I say love the games. That game's good, but the Path of Neo on the PS2 is diabolical. It's a really bad game, so I like that one, but not the second one. Sorry. Anyway, Simpsons. Had to have these because they're Simpsons. I've got these on all the systems. So Hit and Run and Road Rage. And we've got Top Gun Combat Zones. And then we've got exclusive to Gamecube, Universal Studios Theme Park. And then we've got some Beautiful Joe games. So we have the first Beautiful Joe, which is like a yellow front copy, pink on the back. And then there's one that's pink on the front, yellow on the back. So there are 2 variants of the same game. Why did they do that? To sell twice as many copies to collectors? I don't know, maybe. Then there's Beautiful Joe 2. And then there's Beautiful Joe Rumble. So 3 games, even though the first one was like in 2 different variants. Bit of a Virtua Striker series. That's the only reason I got this. It's a Sega football game. Virtua Striker version 2002. No, Virtua Striker 3 version 2002. Then we got Race Blue Storm. Unfortunately, it's not the best arcade rave racing type game, but it's okay. Nearly over, guys. Then we got Wario World, really good platforming type adventure. I say Mario, it is kind of Mario, isn't it? Wario. Then we have WW games. one of these might be exclusive, or two of these. I can't remember now. So we got. To tell a lot, I think these three are exclusive. All the other games are on both systems, so I've got these on the PS2. So these are the exclusive Gamecube games, I believe. So we've got WW Day of Reckoning. Then, what was that sequel? Yeah, that was the sequel, sorry. There's Day of Reckoning, the first one. And then there's a sequel with an interesting babe on the front. And then we had WW WrestleMania X8. And that's it. That's my humble GameCube collection. I do have the GameCube player, which is quite handy for playing the handheld games. In terms of GameCube consoles, I do have a number. I've got the original black and indigo versions. I've got the Japanese orange copy. I do have the exclusive Resident Evil 4 edition, which is silver with the Resident Evil 4 faceplate. And there's a Metroid one which I own as well, and I think there was a Legend of Zelda one too, I think. So yeah, I got those. One exclusive I don't own, which is there's a Mario White. I think it might be a football one. I can't remember, but it was a white GameCube. Mario Sunshine, perhaps, but it's all white. So I don't own that. I was tempted to buy that some years back, but other things took over, and now I don't think I'll bother really. I've got no space for it, to be perfectly honest. How many GameCubes does one person need really? But it's it's a great system. I love that that period with PS2 era and Xbox era and GameCube class. Even though at some point in the past the games were being given away almost, weren't they? Really, some of the games were, but now obviously GameCube is really sought after, and quite rightly so. Anyway, I waffle enough for one day. Hope you're all okay, guys. Until next time, take care and bye.